What is up YouTube? This is AVAULT here, back in today with you guys another very special Speed Duel deck profile video. So as many of you guys know that the new set of new starter decks, Match of the Millennium and Twisted Nightmares are coming very soon, shortly, in less than a week or even in a few days. I really wanted to do something fun with you guys, and many of you guys have been asking an updated deck profile for this, which is basically the Arcana Night Joker deck profile right here. So just first of all, for you guys know, this is purely just for fun, and since we're getting into a new set coming soon, the meta is gonna change. The whole Speed Duel meta is gonna be very entirely different. So I just thought, you know, to end off with this meta, just to really have some final fun, and I always wanted to do this fan favorite duel of Yami Yugi versus Kaiba right here. So we're gonna have two deck profiles released back to back, and then we're gonna release a versus video of them clashing together just before we start opening up and getting into those new starter decks. So if you guys are excited, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned not to miss out. But let's just go straight into the deck profile right here. I really wanted to incorporate Yugi into this whole strategy, same with the Kaiba deck as well, but it's just very tough because the skill was just not that great. But there is here, as I mentioned, we do have Royal Flush as our skill, which is actually not the preferable skill. We're actually running a very interesting build, and which we are playing Last Gamble right here instead. So this is the definitely preferred skill, 100%. Last Gamble just works really well. This is a 30 card deck, just so you guys know, but just in case if you guys want to have just slightly more fun, to really lean towards back to the Yugi style, you can play Royal Flush. So definitely, but I would recommend Last Gamble overall. Now, the reason also I play Last Gamble is because I tried to make a deck version with Royal Flush, but it just turned out to be very similar to my old Arcana Night Joker deck profile, which I released almost a year ago, or maybe it's been more than a year. But yeah, I didn't want to keep it too similar, so I decided to showcase off this really cool new engine, which is a 30 card deck with Last Gamble right here. And we're just gonna jump into the extra deck first this time because it's an Arcana Night Joker. Right here we do play 3 Arcana Night Jokers. We are trying to summon this as fast as possible, as soon as possible right here, because it's just a very powerful card. Really cool fan favorite, 3800 attack, you know, what a really good effect, a cool effect of like basically negating any targeting at all. And then we're also playing another 3 Meteor Bee Dragon just to fill up space of and using the full capacity of our extra deck overall. But so that's what I wanted to start off with. So let's move into the main deck profile right here. I only want to showcase with you guys that we're using these Yami Yugi sleeves, which just match very well. It's Yugi's deck, right? So you just have to use his sleeves to match overall to complete the full set. And we're also using the Yami Yugi playmat right here, the Speed Duel playmat. So anyways, we are playing 3 King's Knight. It's basically the core of the deck. We all know why, because it's part of it's part of the fusion summoning requirements to bring out Arcana Night Joker. Same goes for Queen's Knight, and also applies for Jack's Knight. So we're just playing 3 copies of each, no less. No, you can't play more, but no less, 100% for sure, because we are playing a 30 card deck, just so you know. So that's the core base that you must have. The key searchers, Blue Dragon Summoner right here, just basically to allow you to search Queen's Knight or Jack's Knight, which is really good. And it's also a monster that it has okay attack, decent. So right here we're playing an interesting package that helps us generate this overall. So we're actually playing this Apprentice Magician along with Crystal Seer package right here. And let me dig a little bit deeper and explain why we play this. So the whole idea of Last Gamble is a very risky skill, of course, but it's a very powerful skill. You guys seen it many times featured in my channel, that you can draw lots of cards with this, and basically to help gather your resources to bring out Arcana Night Joker. Now, however, you gotta stall yourself to wait for 5 turns. This is why Blue Dragon Summoner is really good, because it helps you thin out and search out your deck. And same goes for Apprentice Magician and Crystal Seer. They're basically cards to thin out your deck and you want to thin it as fast as you can because you're playing 30 cards, but also be able to stall out for those 5 turns. And opening with 1 Apprentice Magician is all you need to basically get access to the rest of these, at least 4 more cards out of this engine to basically thin down your deck furthermore, which is really, really great. So that's like a sort of stall package, but also not only stall, but just basically a really good engine to help you gather your resources slowly and take control of the game a little bit by bit, so you don't get overwhelmed by your opponent's monsters before you get to summon Arcana Knight Joker. That's the reason why. So that rounds up for all the monsters right here. Moving into our spells, we are definitely playing 3 polymerizations. That's the one and the only way to bring out Arcana Knight Joker. Some of you guys, if you guys prefer, you can definitely use Fusion Gate instead. That totally works just as fine. I prefer polymerization just in this build, just personally, because I really want the, we're just really having some fun. We're not pushing this deck way too far. Next, we also have 3 Triple Wonder Wands, which combos within our basically with our little spellcaster engine right here to draw into our resources, draw into our cards. Don't forget, last gamble, you do have to pitch away 2 cards for the cost. So the reason you want to make sure you have that hand resource to basically discard 2 cards, so then you can roll your dice and hope for the best to get into your cards. And promising you guys, we got a really cool versus video to show you guys of this deck in action versus the Kaiba one. But of course, the Kaiba deck profile will be released after this shortly in a few days, so be sure to stay tuned. And then once again, we'll get into that versus deck profile, just so you guys know. So moving into our traps, we play 3 kunais, just really good, basically standard stalling, and basically, or even not even stalling, but like just counter attacking. Allowing all our Jack's Knight, King's Knight, Queen's Knight, and Blue Dragon Summoner to be a little bit more decently powerful, so that we can put our opponent's monsters into defense and then hopefully attack into them, rather than having to fully rely on our Arcana Knight Joker overall. So that basically rounds off for the traps. Actually, sorry, there is one more trap we do play. We just play 1 more Jar of Avarice to fulfill the space, and then just have a full 30 card deck right here. It's good to recur your resources just in case you need to get any overall. So keep in mind, 30 card main deck, guys. This is really purely just for fun, nothing too competitive, but it's definitely casual. You guys can have fun and play at home with your friends or with your family or siblings. Now, of course, we do have a side deck, and since we're playing a 30 card main deck, a side deck would normally just consist of 2 different cards, really. So we play 1 Bashing Shield. It works really well with this deck. This deck basically doesn't special summon other than Arcana Knight Joker. But I mean, you do special summon Apprentice Magicians, but you don't want to equip that to Apprentice Magicians. You want to equip this to your King's Knight, Jack's Knight, and Queen's Knight, or even Blue Dragon Summoner, just to give that attack boost if you're running into some scenarios. And last but not least, 3 Floodgates, just best trap in the whole meta game right now, of course. I really don't want to run this, but I kind of want to stray away from the whole meta cards and all that kind of stuff. But Floodgate, you can actually swap it in for Windstorm instead, or play 2 2/2s, basically, as in 2 2/2s. What I mean is basically 2 kunais, 2 Windstorms, and then 2 Floodgates instead, if you guys like overall. But we didn't really play much of the side deck in Duel overall, just so you guys know. So yeah, that basically rounds off this entire Arcana Knight Joker deck profile right here. Once again, guys, keep in mind that this is purely just for fun. We're just trying to have some interesting duels, and I just really want to do this epic moment of Yami Yugi versus Kaiba just before the end, or just before we get into our new starter decks, and then we have more epicness, more to come right here. So once again, highly recommend Last Gamble. If you guys prefer, you can definitely play the Royal Flush. But if you guys are playing the Royal Flush, be sure to check out the older deck profile on the channel as well. If you guys want to play a pure Arcana Knight Joker deck, you guys can definitely check out that video. It's quite a while, but here's sort of the updated version, which gives us a slightly different taste. And yeah, so guys, be sure to subscribe, be sure to click that notification bell, be sure to hit that like button if you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Be sure to stay tuned for the Kaiba deck. We're gonna be playing this deck Actually, we'll be playing the Kaiba deck, actually, just so you guys know. But in that versus video, this deck and the Kaiba deck will be featured exactly what they are showing, going against each other, and we're gonna have a very, very fun duel towards the end. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to stay tuned for the other parts as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video. And this is Vault signing